welcome to our PodTalk, your go-to podcast for all interior design, interior architecture, architectural design, things based. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Houssem, all the way from Tunisia, one of our alumni from the Bachelor's Program of Interior Architecture. Thank you very much.
Hi. Thank you
How
for
are
having
you
me.
doing?
I'm good.
You-
I'm fine.
Good, awesome. So how has it been in Tunisia so far?
So far, it's been a bit challenging because, as you know, I finished my studies there, somewhere very different from where I came.
Okay.
The very first obvious thing is I did my studies in English, so I know the technical words about our field in English. When
So
I
it's
come
like a
back to Tunisia,
leverage for you knowing those technical words in English, especially when you're talking with investors, right? So maybe you could tell us a little bit about yourself, your experience in the interior architecture program with us in UOW Malaysia.
yes. So I had my degree in UOW Malaysia, previously known as KTU. I started my program in February 2019. It was a small batch at that time, but I was very excited to meet those two people. And I still remember my very first day. I was sitting in the corridor, and you came by. You said, "Are you the new guy?" Because I joined, I think, 1 week late because of the flights and everything. And our very first class was drawing, and I'm not shy to say this. I still bad at drawing. And we start our class by following the flow, drawing the branch, making the leaves. Then I had no, I was very scared at the beginning. I said, how am I going to finish this, or am I going to do this? And I still remember my last day as well when you told me, I thought you are the first one going to give up this program, but here you are, the only one who finished the program, because among of my two classmates, I'm the only one present on that last day.
Yes,
So
so
I'm very happy.
determination and grit is so important,
Yes,
especially in a program like interior architecture, because it prepares you, our curriculum prepares you for the complexity of various design projects. It prepares you based on our studio-based learning approaches, studio experiential learning approaches, and overall it contributes you to develop you as an individual, as a full grown experience, holistic innovative interior designer or interior architect, right? So what are
yes.
the first memories of your most favorite course that you have taken with us? Going back, let's go back and reminisce a little bit before we start talking, real things related to design. Let's reminisce, then we'll talk about your experience and your pathway.
I have a lot of memories, uh, but the good thing about our program at that time is that we have our design course with only design students. Then we have the MPUs. During the MPUs, I got to meet with a lot of students. I remember one class we were 60, I think, and I made a lot of friends there and still in contact till today. But this is outside the design course. During the design course, I remember the very stressful courses are studios, but they were the most fun as well, because we have site visits, and especially when we had to do the conceptual model. I still like it till today because it challenges your imagination, especially if you always told us don't spend money. you work with what you have. So I
Yes.
remember for design furniture design, I used the PVC pipes. Is my chair still there?
Yes, your chair is still definitely still here.
Okay, nice. I had to use the PVC pipes laying around our studio. Then in Studio 2, I used the fan to create that tunnel. So those were very fun tasks to do, but at the same time, you have the pressure and you have the stress of coming up with the idea of your studio, especially if we were 2 or 3 students. No one should have the same idea as the other friend. So it was a bit challenging, stressful, especially the last days making presentation boards, preparing for a presentation. But it's very, very rewarding because the things you learn during the research process during our grid sessions is very important for you later. You only know the importance of hearing the critiques and uh, willing to receive them whether they were bad or good. Later on in life, you will get used to it when clients say something about your design, and from there you will start saying to your clients, uh, critique my work first. Don't compliment it. Say what's bad about it because I know what I did good. What's the bad I can change. So this is what I remember. A lot of very fun classes, other than studios, especially the business proposal one, which at that time you are pretending to be a businessman or a business owner, and you need to give it all up, making your logo, creating your slogan. Until today, I'm still using the logo I used in that class. So I think my brand started midway our
So
degree program.
so it's great to see you grow, and it's nice to see that you have kept what you have learned, and not only
Yes,
just kept, but you have developed it and transformed it to build your career path. I
yes,
know just a memory that I it sort of splashed in when I first saw you, and I was wondering, oh, we have this particular student, not from Malaysia. So I was wondering, how is it that I can help this person, this student, in order for him to see what interior design is? Because at that point, I did not know that you understood the complexity that lies within the umbrella of design. Starting
yes,
from materiality, building your models, trying to extract that principles of design and implementing into the model and putting it into an interior space, and making that space not just aesthetically pleasing, but also giving it the aspect of functionality, which is one
yes,
of those important parts. And I always, like you said, yes, I do tell the students, don't spend so much. Okay, you use the resources that you have, use the things that you can find around you, and make it happen, and make it creative, because it's that's what it's about. It's trying to bring out
yes,
your inner creativeness, and implementing an interior design. And it's very nice to see that, that particular course of professional practice and business management sort of stuck to you,
yes,
and it's sort of path, it sort of build your career path in order to go into this industry even deeper. So on that note, a question that is more in detail, or more in relevant to sustainable design. So we do have courses that are related to green building, sustainable design, and GBI. So at that time, when you were taking these courses, can you talk about the relevance of it as a student when you were taking the course, and now that you are an alumni, that you've already graduated and you're working, how did that particular knowledge of sustainability design help you in your current situation?
I still remember that GPI course. And at that time, I really, really liked it, the way they divided buildings and they put clear notes and clear guides how to consider your building sustainable building. And looking at the state of the world now, nature and everything, I think you should keep this in mind, especially in my country now, because as you know, we have some climate change and summers are getting uh, hotter and hotter. Oh, you have no idea how hot and savage the summer it is here. So rain harvesting and uh, how to say light control, controlling light with sensors is very, very crucial to save uh, electricity and use the water you harvest from the rain for other purposes. So keeping this in mind uh, is good. When making your design, you are thinking about those things. But I think in small scale designs, you are how to say, it's easier for you to implement those things. But I think it's oriented to very big scale projects, which is we can, in our case, we can work on those projects because if you work with a promoter or a developer, you need to be there. And of course, everyone is brainstorming. You can intervene and help them by sharing this knowledge you have. So nothing is going to be forgotten or useless to learn during your degree. At some point, you will need it in some situation. So it's good to have this knowledge. You have it. You don't know when you will need it, but for sure you will one day. And sooner or later, everyone will start thinking this way. Even I had worked in one small project, which is a tiny house.
Mm-hmm.
So tiny houses, you can make them somehow sustainable. You can use solar panels to generate your electricity. You can use like a water tank on the roof to get the rainwater and use it in your small area. Yes, you can use it in big or small projects. It's just wait for the right moment and the right project to use that knowledge. That's my point for now.
So, needless to say, sustainability is still something that you still apply in your projects moving forward,
Yeah.
especially moving forward into 2025. You know, sustainability is a key element in that sense that we have implemented in the curriculum as well. And towards your last studio, let's talk about your last studio. Towards your last studio, you had heritage and conservation,
Yes.
sort of a little peek to heritage and conservation and the complexity that lies within the buildings and what can you do depending on the category 1 or category 2 building, and what are the things that you cannot do, and also paying homage to the materials that are existing in that site itself, and also paying homage to the culture and the tradition that surrounds this particular site that you've chosen. Because I know that for this heritage program, you sort of went around Penang, right? You went around
Yes.
Penang as well, including the sustainable, of course, the sustainable design. Of course, you went around Penang, took pictures, and you talked about different elements. So, tell me a little bit about this heritage, right? Heritage design, and how that sort of molded you even further as a designer, and currently, how has it been valuable for you as a career uh, pathway?
So for studio, this is studio three.
Yeah, it's towards the
Uh,
end, towards the end of the
yeah,
year. Yeah,
final one.
yeah,
Final one was the heritage building.
yes.
I did the Rutan shop because this how to say, this practice is very popular in Penang, and from my gathering during my research phase, it's something uh, we need to preserve, because as you know, new generation, new war, new practices. So this is something is going, I don't want to say this word because I think it have a very big impact, but disappear, but we need to preserve it.
Yeah.
So the location we choose is, I forgot the name, is it the park near First Avenue? I forgot the name, the new one. So our
Mm.
location is there in the heart of Penang. We have a lot of traffic. We have a lot of incoming people, so people can see that. For me, this final project, how to say, it's like cherry on the cake. You started like an outsider, then the more you study, the more you dive into the culture, the more you know about the country, the more you know about Penang. Then the final project is something in the heart of Penang, where Penang people were doing it for centuries, I think now. So this heritage building courses and studio made me realize that we need to preserve our history and heritage, because the one who doesn't have a history doesn't have a present nor a future. So we need to preserve them for the next generation. They need to know the history, because those small events, small practices are what shaped the city you are living in now. So whether in Penang or in my country or any other country, there is plenty of. Uh, I'm not saying heritage, because heritage needs to have some specifications and rules, but old buildings, very old buildings, they have plenty of stories within their walls. So we need to preserve them. And I really like it the way Penang saved their building, because during our history of architecture 3, I think we did the researches on the heritage buildings and the way they bring architects from outside, teach them the ways to preserve and uh, maintain those buildings is very nice. So I have this idea till now in my head. In my city, in my country, we have plenty of colonial buildings, like the French people built during the occupation, and too bad they are not being maintained or uh, fix it. And I'm seeing it as a potential project. You bring the people in this field who know how to do those things, learn from them, because you can't stop, never learn. You are learning every day. Even if you get a PhD in I don't know what, you still learning day after day. I learned this the hard way. No need to speak about it. So, yes, the heritage project made me realize how important those very old buildings, because even if they are old, they have special techniques. They are not available today, because people back in the days, they were building and making buildings from what they have.
Mm-hmm.
So they need to be creative to solve flood issues, heat issues, insulation issues. Other than history, it's a very nice living example on how to tackle issues with what you have.
Right. Back in the days, they didn't have the ease of technology that walks them through, right? They had to troubleshoot. It's like a bunch of trials and errors that has to be done in order for them to understand, if this is applicable. And if it is applicable, let's let it last for a few years on. Because to me, a heritage tells a story. It's an untold story of a building that, as a designer who understands the value of it, is able to not only comply but also enhance the value of the existing building, and then of course
Yes.
adding up adaptive reuse as well into it, right? So as a professional interior designer, currently interior architect, working in Tunisia, so have you come across any heritage building besides identifying them and having a plan that, like you said, you had a plan that you want to do certain things? Have you come across any of the projects that you have done?
So far, no.
All right.
To be honest, I only worked on new sites,
Okay.
old buildings, no, but I'm very excited for the opportunity to come. I'm sure one day I will work on an old
Yes.
house. So if I got one of those projects, for sure you will see my renders, my work. I will post it in my social media. I will send it to you for sure.
Definitely, and I also see you're you're working very hard in your social medias. When looking
Yes.
through your renderings and so on, how was your transition, from just graduating and after internship, and going into the professional world? How was your transition like? I know when you were in Malaysia, you were an international student, but besides
Yeah.
that, how was your transition, and what was that connection you made in the industry, and how is it that it's still holding you as an individual?
Okay. So when we started our program, when I see the structure of it, they said we are going to study for 3 years. Then the last 6 months we are going for internship.
Mm.
Then we had some changes. Then we study for I think 2.5 years. Then we go for 6 month internship. Then come back for our final
Final
sem.
studio.
So the transition from being student to the internship is a bit hard because you are, how to say, still learning, a student. Other than this, you are a student in somewhere else, in another company, another culture, another language. You have no, we have four language, I think, in the office. We have, of course, Malay, we have Indian language, we have Chinese and English, and there is me with another language. So it's hard because there is no margin for errors. If you made a mistake, the contractor will have the wrong drawings, they will lose money. And I remember that I made a mistake, and it was a very big mistake. And the boss had to talk with me about it. And if I didn't make that mistake, I will never pay attention to details. I will never speak about something I'm not sure about. So it was a very, very good experience
A
for me.
good
And
lesson
till
in the
today,
industry, yeah.
yes,
A
and
very
till
good lesson
today,
in the industry for you to learn from, that you will never, forget this moment, that you
yes.
now look into every single detail of
Of course.
your project, right? Mm.
And till today, I still have uh, like a PDF file of some drawings I did for a reference
Mm.
to okay, they do this way, and I like it how they organize things. Yeah, there is a flow of work there. It's organized, so you learn how to organize your work. Then, other than this, you have your seniors, people who were doing this job for 5 plus years. At that stage, you look at the renders, you look at their work, you say, "Am I going to reach that stage?" So you use them as source of inspiration and challenge. Okay, I need to pass that senior because I know I remember my very very first renders. For me at that point they were very good for me because that's something I learned new. But when I put it beside someone else's work, I said no, this is not good enough. Then you develop yourself more and more, especially the duration of the internship is not short. It's 6 months,
Six
and
months, yes.
yeah, I extended for 2 months. Now the hard part is the transition from being professional going back to school. It's how to say you feel it's slow. You have a class one day, the next day don't have anything. But the good thing is the workload in internship is much bigger than your last sem. So you have a report to do. Okay, you do it in half a day. And I remember we are some classes, me and Duan having classes where with first year students, like this is their second sem and they need to do a report. It's a very huge task for them. It take them 1 week, but me and Duan, okay, one day done. It's
Yes,
very easy.
that irony of being in such a like a pressure cooker, and it pushes you and your boundaries to build as a person, and it pushes you and your boundaries to produce work. And then going back into school, you realize how we take it slow, and how lecturers really want you to marinate in the information, make sure you get the information, and make sure you partake that information into your studio so that it's visible. Because I think in UW, Malaysia, KTU University College, we focus so much on the aspect that you are not just an individual, but you're more than that, right? You are a designer. You may not come in strong with the sense of design, but leaving it, you should be so much more confident, and
Yeah.
so much more worthy in the fact that you are able to not only understand commercial design, residential design, heritage focused design, adaptive reuse design, retail design. As a degree holder, you should be able to know the basics, fundamental elements of this, and how it sort of significantly impact you as a person in that particular educational area, and also how it improves the quality of how you see design, or how do you see buildings, and how do you see architecture in nature. And I think that is the most thrilling part as an educator myself, teaching. I think the most thrilling part is to see that transition, as in the students coming in with not knowing exactly what they really want. They know they're good at drawing or sketching, or maybe they're good at mixing and matching colors and positioning these sofas and so on. But initially, when they go through the program, it's like it puts you in the washing machine and sort of rolls you all down. Put this example is, those rough stones that you find, put you in the tumbler, and you just tumble it, and then by the end of it, it's like smooth as a pebble. So I see that students going through this transition, and I'm very proud to say that, when it comes to alumni, and I'm looking at you as an alumni of the program and also of the school, and I'm looking, hey, you have come to a certain age where you could see your improvement, you're establishing yourself, you're using what is used in school, and you are sort of building and paving your way towards a better future, and hopefully, getting to that final goal of yours, right? So with that with that in mind, right, one of the last questions that I like to ask you is, um, when you were in the program, how was the care for you? Like, how's the pastoral care? Maybe give a little insight on future students who would like to come into the program. What are they to expect? Care wise, pastoral care wise, and also, courses wise, what are they to expect? Maybe that could be the first part of it, and then the second part of it, you can give some of the suggestions, or recommendations that you would like to partake on the students. It could be recommendations like, maybe, read a certain magazine, or book, or, before you come into the program, really know what this is. This kind of book, Blue Fountain will tell you a whole story about it. So, first part first.
Okay. For first part, uh, they will find all they need to finish their diploma or their degree. I have been there. I saw with my eyes. The lecturer there, especially you, and previously Miss Nicole. By the way, hi Miss Nicole, if you are watching. Uh, you are there for the students. And I remember during pandemic, and when we were having classes in our houses, it was very, very, very stressful, because it's not the same when you are physically present in class, or and having the class via Zoom. And remember, I was very stressful, and Mercy as well, if you remember her. Hi,
Yes.
Mercy again. Uh, she was very stressful, and you sent us a Zoom link just to talk. You said, not talk about our projects, not talk about our school. Are you okay? Do you feel stressful? What are you doing? How you are spending your day? It was, I think, 15 or 20 minutes to relieve that stress. So lecturers are willing to go that extra mile for you. This is your word. support you and help you solve your issue, whether are related to your class or exterior issues unrelated to anything. Maybe family issue, maybe money issue. Lecturers are there to help you. So just approach them, tell them what you feel maybe, and even if you don't tell them, by their experience, they will know just by looking at your face. And they will take you aside privately. Bro, are you okay? Is there an issue we can do it? So this is for lectures. Facility-wise, I think we have a very nice new facility. The Batokawan studio I think it's very good. It's very nice, very open. Uh, and what I like about it is that you don't have the feel of being in class or school because it's open, no blackboards, no boards, no like regular tables. It's open. You sit wherever you want, and you hang wherever you want. All the walls are hangable. And I remember one day in Anson Road in the old campus, we were having History 1 with Mr. A.R. Leon, and we were in the corridor and we were waiting for one, I think, and one was not coming. He said, okay, let's bring a chair. And we had our class in the corridor. It's not even in the classroom. So it's very open, you are free to do whatever you like. If we had the, how to say, not the opportunity, but if you could sleep there, you could sleep there. But the bed school needs to shut down at 10, I think. So you can do whatever you like, use whatever you want. They are providing everything, and you just need to do your part, take the brief, and do your project. This is for the first part. For the second part, my advice to the new students, it's going to be hard. This is for sure. It's not easy. But coming from me, a person with zero background in design, because my previous studies before I started my interior architecture course were like mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, and I stopped on both of them. So I can't even draw a very nice line. My hand is blocked. You know this.
Yes, I remember. I was like, draw the line straight, Houssem, because this was your first semester or so.
Yeah. And one day during our first class, which is a technical drawing, where we need to sketch every week, one and I forgot the other name. They were very good at drawing, extremely nice, especially the girl. She spent 20 hours drawing, and I can't even sketch a window. And they told me, draw a nose. I cannot draw a nose. Draw the eye. You know what? Look at the window, sketch the house. You need to do something. So I was in that situation, and I finished my program. I think if you have slightly like more knowledge, more than me about this field, you can do it. But it's not easy. It's stressful. You have studies, you have site visits, you have reports, you have internship, you have a small amount of time to do a lot of renders. You need to do your presentation board. It's hard, but if you give it enough time and enough effort, you will be there. Especially the structure of the course. So you have a project, you are working on it for 2 months, you are showing your progress. Of course, lecturer will know that you are working, but if you are, how to say, laying low for 2 months and last week you bring your projects, it's very obvious what you did. So they are going to be hard on you. As much as they are nice and lenient, they are extremely hard as well when it comes to giving you grades and critique your work. They have no issue saying this is bad. I'm not going to say another word, but bad in a very bad way.
Sometimes you need to hear it in order to know that it is bad and you have to improve. And yeah.
Other than this, we have like 2 very big libraries. I think Batukawan one and Anson Road one, you can use whatever book they have for ideas or maybe inspiration. But now Other than libraries, we have the internet, we have Pinterest. But for me, I like to use video games because video games have very nice colors, very nice interiors. So it's something you can take inspiration from, especially I'm not going to say sci-fi games, but futuristic games and like games where you play with the character and you have the ability to enter some places. They have very nice interiors, combination of colors, ideas. It's very, very nice.
So you
And
draw your
it's,
inspiration from
yes,
games that
yes,
you've played. So that
yes.
is, I
And
remember in the past we had a diploma student as well. Um, and I had to somehow provoke him in order to design. And I figured that he liked games, and I was like, go ahead, go and play as many games as you can,
yes,
come up with an idea based on what you've played, and then we'll work on the understanding of how to bring it all together as a concept and designing it.
yes. And it's you are having fun. You are playing your video game at the same time you are looking and scanning and having those ideas in the back of your head. Uh, Another thing I want to say is
Recommendation, maybe a recommendation that you would like to give them, a recommendation that they could probably use before coming or during, students who are already in the course.
a video game. Yeah, so I think last week or last 2 weeks I played a game called Detroit Become Human.
Mm.
It's based on choices, so you have those playable character and uh, they ask you a question and you give them answer. Depends on that answer, there is an outcome. A different answer, a different outcome. So you can, how to say, apply this in your studies as well. So if you do this thing this way, you'll have okay good outcome. If you didn't pay enough attention and you made this choice, you'll get punished. So you have you will know that every choice has a consequence, and of course they have a very nice interiors. I like it, the overall feel of the game. So you can use this game to have fun and have ideas.
Okay.
I want to say
Yes.
I want to say something unrelated to video games. During your degree, at some point, you will get very stressful, and it will get a bit hard for you to keep up with the reports, the projects, and everything. And something in your head will tell you you should stop, you should quit. At that point, you are in how to say the road is divergent, one on the right, one on the left. You quit or you continue. Be sure if you choose to continue, you are going to finish. At that point, it's very crucial for you whether you quit or you continue. If you continue, be sure that you are going to finish. Be sure you are on the right track. I think every student have this thought, me included. But the moment you made your choice, okay, I came here, I need to finish, you are going to finish, no matter how projects they throw at you. I'm
Yes.
speaking now because I was a student. Now, after some years of experience, it's a child play, I know. But at that point of time, at that point of history, it was very, very hard.
It
I'm
was.
not going to. Yes.
So now that you're in the industry, it's like there's nothing. We have prepared you for the industry, that everything
Yes.
now is like a popcorn in a movie, right? So it's easy to say that all this preparation, this forming of students, it is to lead them to a better outcome. In particular, I know students have various challenges in the fact that, again, they are not able to understand, they're not able to cope. But
Yes.
I think we are also there for them. Students have to understand, the lecturers at UW Malaysia are
Yes.
there for them constantly, and we are always there no matter what. Fridays, Saturdays, if you need any help,
Yes.
just pop us a message and so on. So I always hear this name that comes popping up throughout this conversation of ours, So I'm assuming you formed a very lasting friendship and various connections with your classmates and of course,
Yes.
lecturers like me. You shared your passions and so so I'm assuming you have, right?
Yes, of course. I still in contact till today. My classmate one, we were talking last week. We even have conversation like this, video calls. If he needs something, I'll do for him. We discuss about some issues. I did some renders for him.
So you are
Even John,
Yeah, so
even John.
you are still working internationally, I would say, right? You are
Yes,
still
yes, yes.
serving, designs through internationally through Malaysia, Tunisia, and whoever else out there who wants design. You're willing to
Yeah.
serve them internationally. Later down this clip, I will give you Hossam's ID as well, Instagram ID, and also
Yes.
how to contact him, and you guys can take a look at it and understand that how you can contact him and so on. So one question, and it's a yes or no answer sort of. So what do you consider the most valuable aspects of your education at UOW, Malaysia, KDU, Penang University College? And in particular, is there a certain aspect that has moved you so much that you are so glad that you went through it or you
I
met
think
that
the people,
person or whatever?
the people.
The people. Okay, good.
Yes,
The people.
the people. I still remember a lot of people, even the guards at the gate. I'm friends with them, so the
They take
people,
good
the
care
lady
of
at
our
the gate.
students as well, making sure that
Yes,
they come in on
yes,
time, they go out if they need any issues they need to sort. So thank you so much for sharing your insights, and
very much.
is that in everything that you do, I know, and I'm sure that you have taken a piece of UOW and also a piece of our program, okay, bachelor's honors in interior architecture, and proud to say that you are a byproduct of our interior architecture program, in particularly in relations to how you've evolved as an individual. Thank you so much, Hassam, and hopefully in future I will be able to meet face to face, in big
Yes,
projects. And I wish you all the very best. And for the
thank you very much.
listeners, we will have his link and also his information and some of his recommendations in our brief at the bottom, and you can click on it. And any last words before you leave, Husam?
Thank you for having me. I didn't feel the time. I think we didn't even were close to share to 10% what we have been through. So a lot of memories, a lot of things, a lot of classes, a lot of issues, a lot of very nice moments. Maybe you will have other episodes. Maybe I will be there one day. To be honest, I left a piece in me in Penang, from me in
Oh,
Penang. So I want to go back there. Like you have no idea. I miss the food. I miss the city. If I had the chance to come back, maybe I'll not maybe for sure I'll be in school. Maybe have some talk with some students, show my work, my previous work, show my new work, give them face-to-face ideas. You never know what the future hides. I'm very excited to be here, and I'm very happy that I was there. And yeah, I'm here at any time to share whatever journey I have been through. So again, thank you so much. I hope that this episode is enjoyable for the people who will be watching it or listening to it. And till we meet again, we'll keep in touch.
keep in touch with Sam, and I'm pretty sure I'll call you back for another episode of sharing because I know we have a lot to talk. And if I talk, it's going to be like an hour of editing, and I'm pretty sure my editor here is going to say, "Hey, it's going to be long." So I
Yeah,
totally understand. So I don't want Jeremy to chop me. So I'm gonna stop this session for this podcast, and I hope to talk to you soon. And you take
yes.
care. Until then, we'll meet again soon.
Enjoy your
Bye.
weekend.
You too. Bye bye.